At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call on the son of the soil. There are men amongst men, and we say sometimes many are called, but few are chosen. Let's welcome Mr. Wilfred for the occasion.
My fellow Liberians, friends, well-wishers, supporters, partners of Liberia, ladies and gentlemen, what an honor, what a privilege to give us insights into the history of Liberia. Before I move ahead, let me say to you, like we say in Liberia, my 26 on you. When Christmas comes, we say my Christmas on you. When 26 comes, we say my 26 is on you. And the first person to say it, that person gets a gift. So for those of you who have maybe a Rolex watch or a piece of gold or a piece of diamond you want to give, there's a goodwill bag at the end of the hall there. You can drop it in the goodwill bag and show your goodwill. So my 26 on you. The history of the region we know as Liberia, did not start with the settlement of African Americans. I repeat, the history of the region we know as the Republic of Liberia did not start with the settlement of the African Americans. 16 indigenous tribal groups, offsprings of the great kingdoms of West Africa, Songhai, Ghana, and Mali, inhabited this area before the African Americans settled. And as the great kings of these areas, Mensa Musa, Asa the Great, Modimo Kenyatta, Sonny Ali, fought for territory. These tribes migrated to what we know today as Liberia. Ladies and gentlemen, again, it's an honor, a great honor, for me to stand here today and speak about a country of resilience, a country of unique history. The settlers only re-energized the Liberian spirit of resilience. Why Liberia? First, there was fear. There was something in this country called slavery. And there was a man called Thomas Jefferson, who was the first Secretary of State, second Vice President, and third President of this country. He said, I turned up from my country when I realized that God is just, and his justice cannot sleep forever. Look what we have done to the black man. Look what we have done to his children. Look what we have done to his wife. Look what we have done to his sons. What will happen if the justice of God should descend, and the black man becomes the master and we become the slave? There was fear. And this fear was only exacerbated by Nat Turner. Nat Turner led an uprising in Virginia. The then governor of Virginia, James Monroe, decided that it was time for them to put the black folk together and send them somewhere. Because if Nat Turner, who emulated Dominic Toussaint in Haiti, Dominic Toussaint defeated the greatest white general that ever lived, Napoleon Bonaparte, and liberated the people of Haiti. The governor said, no, we have to do something with black folk. Because if they get a leader like that, with such military ingenuity, they will come after us and the justice of God will descend. And the black man might become the slave, and the master, and we become the slave. There was pessimism. People did not believe that the black man will ever advance to the level of the white man in this country. Robert Franklin, Presbyterian clergyman, said, the fate of the black man oppressed my mind. Here we are today. Look at his condition. Look at his look. Just think about the pigmentation of the skin. All of these things are against him. We must find a place for the black man. Because America will never open her arms to the black man. Thus the Republic of Liberia. And on July 26, 1847, freedom raised her glory from amongst Montserrat High. And Africa's first republic was born. Let us give the Republic of Liberia a hand. Now, after being alive for 164 years, it's hard to talk about you in about 5, 6, 10 minutes. So I'm just going to list some of the accomplishments of Liberia, the unique accomplishments of Liberia. Number one, Liberia is Africa's oldest republic. Africa referred to as that continent, but Liberia through the African American experience and being buttressed by the indigenous people, Africa had her first republic. Liberia, the world's second constitutional democracy, second only to the United States of America. Liberia is the world's second constitutional democracy. Liberia, the land of 10 African American presidents. 10 African Americans became presidents of this country. Obama is the 11th African American to become president. He's the first African American to become president of the United States of America. But he's the 11th African American president. The first was Joseph Junior Rao from Knoxville, Virginia. He was also the first African American to get a law degree. And he was also the richest black man on the face of this earth, because he ran the housing and Rowell's company, where his shipping lines were trading the seven seas. Joseph Junior Rao. Liberia did something that is so unique. There is a country that they call Namibia. It was first called West Africa. The world wanted to give this country to resist South Africa. Apartheid South Africa as a gift. And Liberia took the world to the International Court of Justice and defended this African country. Today, the country is not called West Africa, it's called Namibia. And because of Liberia's leadership, let us get Liberia in. The Great Depression. Liberia became some breaking rights. But then America ordered the Great Depression. Why took America order the Great Depression? The auto industry accounted for 1/3 of all jobs in this country. If you were to go outside the day, each car has at least 4 tires. The main company of the tires is rubber. The rubber came exclusively from Liberia. Let us get Liberia again for that. Liberia, that African country that declared war on Germany. Yes, Liberia declared war on Germany. Germany was our #1 economic partner. But Liberia, realizing the insensitivity of the Germans to the Jews, decided to declare war on Germany, even though it was not for us. Because I'm told that when the Germans started bombarding Liberia through coconut plantations, they got an old man to pray. And he said, "Oh God, save us from this mighty foes. And Father, as you come, we don't want you to send your son because there's no small plague. We need for you to come, Lord, we want for yourself to come." And indeed, God came because Liberia is still a sovereign state. Liberia signed a charter to the League of Nations. But many countries thought that was not doable. Liberia signed a charter. Liberia was one of 51 countries that signed a charter to the United Nations in 1945. And not only that, Liberia in 1947 cast the winning vote on the state of Israel to be a sovereign state. Let us get Liberia here for that. Liberia was one that led the independence struggle in Africa. There is no African country that does not owe for independence to Liberia explicitly or implicitly. The Republic of Liberia did that, sometimes to the detriment of our own national growth and development. Liberia supported the civil rights movement in this country. When John Lewis was sent to Liberia in 1964, Liberia supported the civil rights movement in this country. Liberia stood on the side of what was right. Liberia stood on the side of justice. Liberia, the first African to get a PhD from an American university was a Liberian called David Jones from Northwestern University in Chicago. Liberia is the home of great women, great women. Chief Swakoko, Chief Lango Lepe, and there's another one that did a DNA and will soon be taken home. Her name is Oprah Wilfred. Liberia also has the first African woman to be elected president of an African country, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Liberia, the first man in the history of soccer to win FIFA championship, European championship, his continent championship, his nation championship was a man called George Manneh Okoye. Let us get the point of him. I hate to say it, but when you look around corporate America and you see someone who is moving in a very exemplary manner, I wish he wasn't here, but since he's here, I will still say Liberia has somebody of great ingenuity when it comes to management. Let us Give a hand to our friend and brother, Ellie Cummings. We all love you, Ellie. Liberia was one of the most peaceful countries on the face of this earth until 1980. The country is 43,000 square miles over the size of Tennessee. Population 3.5 billion. Large tropical rainforest, including the Sapo National Forest, where you have animals and plants that you don't find anywhere else on the face of this earth. Like the pygmy hippo. You don't find it any, just like the Chinese have the panda. Liberia has the pygmy hippo. Why this hippopotamus doesn't want to grow, I don't know. But Liberia has the pygmy hippo. 350 miles of golden beaches. Liberia is very unique. A country that has no snow, no earthquake, no tsunami, no hurricane. Whatever disaster you find around, you don't find it in Liberia. What a beautiful country. I conclude today by saying to you, Liberia is open for business. And you are welcome. Join the bandwagon. The Chinese have put $62 billion in Africa already. You cannot beat the resiliency of the Liberian market. You cannot beat the resources that Liberia has. So let me welcome you to the glorious land of liberty, and let us work together. For I tell you today, Liberia has slipped, but Liberia has not fallen. And even if Liberia has fallen, Liberia has fallen on her back and she's looking up. So I leave today by saying, in joy and gladness with our hearts united, we shout the freedom of race united. Long live Liberia, happy land. This one was glorious liberty by God's command. This one was glorious liberty by God's command. Thank you very much, and God richly bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a historical insight on Liberia. We shout the freedom of our race united. With hearts in hand, our country calls defending, we'll meet the foe with valor unprotected. Mr. Wilfred Harris.